Hi everyone, I'm Darren Roberts, Regional Agronomist with Winfield United in Western Iowa, and today I'm here with Brandon Benscooter, District Sales Manager with Winfield United in Central Iowa, and today we're talking a little bit about why Class Act NG and InterLock are so important to our base adjuvant recommendations for herbicide applications. So Brandon, let's first start off with Class Act NG. So tell us a little bit about why Class Act NG is so important to our adjuvant recommendations.
Sure. So Class Act NG is our lead water conditioning agent, and it has AMS in it, it has a non-ionic surfactant, and it has corn-sorb technology. So the AMS helps to treat the water so that the chemicals can work freely in the solution without any tie-up. Corn-sorb technology is in there to help drive that product into the plant and increase plant uptake of the tank mix. And the non-ionic surfactant helps to penetrate the cuticle of the plants that we're spraying and help increase plant uptake as well.
Okay, so a pretty versatile product with a lot of different properties. So how about you tell us a little bit about the video that we've had playing in the background?
Sure. So the video behind us is a demonstration that we do at our spray clinics through the winter with farmers and retail sellers across the territory. And you'll see two glasses of water in the video. One is clear, and that's water treated with dry AMS solution. And the darker colored glass is water treated with Class Act NG with corn-sorb technology. The egg cartons simulate plant tissue, and we're going to dump the treated water into the egg cartons and compare the speed of uptake in the plant tissue across both treatments. So if you watch the video, you'll notice that the clear, dry AMS in water's uptake is a lot slower than Class Act NG with corn-sorb when treated with the water.
All right. So there you have it. That's kind of the basics of why Class Act NG is so important to our base adjuvant recommendations. Just to kind of recap, so it has the 8.5 pounds of AMS in every 2.5 gallon jug. It's got the 2 quarts of NIS as well as the corn-sorb technology to help with better leaf uptake. Okay, so moving on to this next portion here, let's talk a little bit about InterLock technology. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about why InterLock is so important to that adjuvant recommendation.
Sure. So we recommend using InterLock in the tank because it gives you 3 advantages. Number 1 is drift control, number 2 is deposition aid, and number 3 is canopy penetration. So the drift control is pretty straightforward. It's going to keep the spray product in your field and not your neighbor's field. The deposition aid is going to help when that water droplet hits the leaf surface. Rather than running off, it's going to stick and spread and give you good coverage in the canopy. And then canopy penetration, if you get more of that herbicide down deeper in the canopy, you'll control some weeds that might be hanging out under a leaf surface and be protected from a tank mix that doesn't have InterLock included. InterLock is a spray droplet modifier, and so Darren's going to tell us a little bit about why we choose to lead with a spray droplet modifier versus some other technologies that are on the market.
Okay, so a spray droplet modifier means that InterLock does not change the overall viscosity that's coming out of that nozzle. Okay, so what InterLock does is it helps to reduce the driftable fines. It helps to pull back on the size of those ultra coarse droplets that are coming out of the nozzle. But overall, the average droplet size coming out of the nozzle isn't changed. There's other products on the market that would fall under a category called thickeners or viscosity modifiers. And so what those are basically doing is they take smaller droplets and glob them together to make larger droplets, which is an issue for spray applications. It creates these large droplets that bounce off the leaf surface, and overall what we see is reduced coverage on those leaves and overall a reduction in weed control. Okay, so Brandon, tell us a little bit about the video that's been playing in the background.
Okay, so behind us you'll see an XR flat fan nozzle on both sides of the video. And on the one side you've got just water in the tank, and on the other side you've got InterLock included. And then there's a breeze crossing through the pattern, and you can see the difference is dramatic in how many spray droplets are staying underneath the nozzle.
All right, so a pretty significant difference if you look at that video up there. So just to kind of recap with InterLock technology, so InterLock, we go back to the 3Ds, so reduction in drift, increased deposition, and overall better canopy penetration.